Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds bilateral meet with his Sri Lankan counterpart Mahinda Rajapaksa via video conferencing, calls the bilateral ties multifaceted. Prime Minister says Sri Lanka will be given special and highest priority under Neighbourhood First policy. Prime Minister Modi announces grant assistance of $15 million for promotion of Buddhist ties between the two countries. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Rajapaksa makes special mention of Jaffna Cultural Centre, an iconic project built with Indian assistance, and PM Rajapaksa extends invitation to Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate the project. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address general debate at the 75th UN session of General Assembly this evening. PM's address is expected to focus on India's priorities as member of Security Council during 2021-22 and the promotion of global action against terrorism. Indian mission to United Nations denounces Pakistan for state-sponsored terrorism and genocide, reiterates J&K is an integral and inalienable part of India, calls on Pakistan to vacate all illegal occupation as India exercises its right of reply at the UN. Prime Minister greets on CSIR's 79th Foundation Day, lauds CSIR's role in the pandemic and hails the organisation for being at the forefront of advancement of scientific research and innovation in India. India records more than 4 lakh teleconsultations on e-Sanjeevani platform. Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh cross 1 lakh teleconsultations each. More than 18 states have utilized the mobile app to provide medical care to people. BJP announces names of party's national office bearers: Dr. Raman Singh, Vasundhara Raje Scindia, Mukul Roy, Annapurna Devi, Baijant Jai Panda among those appointed as national vice presidents. Tejasvi Surya appointed Jiva Morcha president. Last rites of legendary playback singer S.P. Balasubramaniam held with state honours in Chennai today. Leaders across political spectrum pay homage to the music legend. The iconic singer was the winner of 6 national awards, many Filmfare awards among others, recipient of Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. Good evening and welcome to this bulletin. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. BJP President JP Nadda today announced a new team of party's national office bearers, which has an element of continuity as well as change. The list of 8 general secretaries' crucial organisation position in the party, as they are a link between the state and central leadership, has 5 new faces, with Bhupender Yadav, Arun Singh, Kailash Vijayvargiya being retained. Party MP Tejasvi Surya, a fiery speaker, has been made the president of party's youth wing in place of Poonam Mahajan. The party has also expanded its list of spokespersons to 23, with MP Anil Baloni being elevated as the chief spokesperson and remaining its media head. And my colleague Shailendra Mishra is joining us with more updates on this rejig within the BJP. शैलेंद्र, आप कैसे देखते हैं ये जो बदलाव किए गए हैं भाजपा में, जो नए चेहरों को मौका दिया गया है, कैसे देखते हैं उसे?
निश्चित तौर पर ये संभावित भी था कि जेपी नड्डा जब भी नई टीम का ऐलान करेंगे बीजेपी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष, तो नए चेहरों को खूब मौका मिलेगा। 8 राष्ट्रीय महासचिवों में से 5 नए चेहरे हैं। 3 देखें जो पुरानी टीम में भूपेंद्र यादव, अरुण सिंह और कैलाश विजयवर्गीय, वो भी नई टीम में शामिल है, लेकिन 5 नए चेहरे हैं। इसमें सीटी रवि, इसके साथ ही साथ तरुण चुग और दिलीप सैकिया जैसे नाम शामिल हैं। तो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण एक तरह से कहें बदलाव किए गए हैं नए टीम में, और नए चेहरों को, युवा चेहरों को जगह दी गई। इसके साथ ही साथ राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष की टीम में देखें तो उत्तर प्रदेश की सांसद रेखा वर्मा है, बजेन पांडा है, मुकुल राय हैं, राधा मोहन सिंह हैं, तो अनुभवी नेताओं को भी जगह दी गई है। और जिन राज्यों में आने वाले समय में एक तरह से देखें चुनाव हैं, वहाँ पर भी खास जोर दिया गया है, बिहार और बंगाल जैसे राज्यों में। इसके साथ ही साथ आप जो बीजेपी के युवा मोर्चा में देखें तो तेजस्वी सूर्य, जिनको ये कहा जा रहा था कि बीजेपी राष्ट्रीय टीम में एक नई जिम्मेदारी दे सकती है, महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी दे सकती है, तो आज जो नई घोषित टीम हुई है उसमें उन्हें बीजेपी युवा मोर्चा के नए अध्यक्ष के तौर पर उनकी नियुक्ति की गई। इसके साथ ही साथ कई और बदलाव देखते हैं। जो राष्ट्रीय मंत्रियों की जो बीजेपी की टीम है उसमें देखें तो तमाम युवा चेहरे हैं। हरीश त्रिवेदी बस्ती से सांसद हैं, उन्हें मंत्री बनाया गया है। पंकजा मुंडे और विनोद तावड़े जैसे तेज तर्रार नाम है महाराष्ट्र से, उन्हें मंत्री राष्ट्रीय टीम में बनाया गया। तो इस तरह के बड़े बदलाव दिखते हैं जिसमें युवाओं को प्रमुखता है और राज्यवार एक तरह से संतुलन भी रखा गया और अनुभवी चेहरों को भी कई टीम में यथावत रखा गया। हम जानते हैं अनिल बलूनी जो बीजेपी के वर्तमान में पुरानी टीम में राष्ट्रीय मीडिया प्रभारी थे, उनको नई टीम में भी राष्ट्रीय मीडिया प्रभारी बनाए रखा गया है। साथ ही साथ संजय मयूख राष्ट्रीय सह मीडिया प्रभारी थे, उन्हें मीडिया सह प्रभारी बनाए रखा गया। तो कई ऐसे पुराने चेहरे हैं पुरानी टीम के जिनको नई टीम में भी जगह मिली, लेकिन बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है, चाहे वो राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष की जो टीम हो या महासचिव की टीम हो या फिर जो मंत्री बनाया गया बीजेपी संगठन की टीम में।
जी शैलेंद्र, धन्यवाद आपका इन सभी अपडेट्स के साथ हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। देयर बीजेपी अनाउंसिंग अ न्यू टीम ऑफ पार्टी national office bearers today. Moving on, big story. Virtual bilateral summit was held today between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Sri Lankan counterpart Mahinda Rajapaksa. The summit was Prime Minister Modi's first such virtual engagement with a neighbouring country, and also Sri Lankan Prime Minister's first diplomatic engagement with the leader of a foreign country after he was sworn in as Prime Minister in August. Prime Minister Modi congratulated Sri Lankan Prime Minister for his recent victory. PM Modi said relations between India and Sri Lanka are thousands of years old, calling India and Sri Lanka ties multifaceted. He said under Neighbourhood First policy, India gives Sri Lanka special and highest priority.
भारत और श्रीलंका के बहुमुखी संबंध हजारों साल पुराने हैं। मेरी सरकार की नेबरहुड फर्स्ट नीति और सागर डॉक्ट्रिन के तहत श्रीलंका से संबंधों को हम विशेष और उच्च प्राथमिकता देते हैं। भारत और श्रीलंका बिम्स्टेक, IORA, सार्क मंचों पर भी घनिष्ठ सहयोग करते हैं। आपकी पार्टी की हाल ही की जीत के बाद भारत और श्रीलंका संबंधों में एक नए ऐतिहासिक अध्याय को जोड़ने का बहुत अच्छा अवसर बना है।
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi today announced a grant assistance of $15 million for promotion of Buddhist ties between India and Sri Lanka. The announcement was made during the India-Sri Lanka virtual bilateral summit held between PM Modi and Sri Lankan counterpart Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Testifying to the long-standing civilizational links and cultural heritage between the two countries, our Prime Minister announced a grant assistance of $15 million for the promotion of Buddhist ties between the two countries. This grant will assist in deepening people-to-people linkages between the two countries in the sphere of Buddhism, inter alia through constructions, renovations of Buddhist monasteries, capacity development, cultural exchanges, archaeological cooperation, reciprocal exposition of Lord Buddha's relics, strengthening of Buddhist scholarships, and support to the Buddhist clergy.
And briefing media in New Delhi, Joint Secretary for Indian Ocean Region Division of the MEA, Amit Narang, said in talks with Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Modi emphasized implementing Sri Lanka's Constitution's 13th Amendment to take forward Tamil reconciliation issue.
Both leaders also exchanged views on reconciliation in Sri Lanka. Prime Minister called on the new government in Sri Lanka to work towards realizing the expectations of Tamils for equality, justice, peace and dignity within a united Sri Lanka by achieving reconciliation nurtured by the full implementation of the constitutional provisions. He emphasized that full implementation of the 13th Amendment to the Sri Lankan Constitution is essential for carrying forward the process of peace and reconciliation.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the general debate of the 75th session of UN General Assembly this evening. Prime Minister's address is expected to focus on India's priorities as member of the Security Council during 2021-22 period, promotion of global action against terrorism. To promote strengthening of global action on counter-terror, India will push for more transparency in process of listing and delisting of entities and individuals in sanctions committees. Being one of the largest troop contributing nation, India will seek to engage intensively in finalizing of mandates for UN peacekeeping mission. Prime Minister is also expected to focus on issues India will focus on during its stint as a non-permanent member of Security Council for 2 years beginning January 1st, 2021. This approach includes the 5S approach of Samman or respect, Sambad that is dialogue, Sahyog that is cooperation, Shanti or peace, and Samriddhi or prosperity. India will also focus on inclusive and responsible solutions for global peace and security, an effective response to international terrorism, norms or the new orientation for a reformed multilateral system, technology for all, and streamlining of UN peacekeeping operations. PM Modi's address will be in the form of a video statement broadcast at the General Assembly Hall in New York, since most events are being held virtually against the backdrop of COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier, India promptly responded to Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's statement on the Kashmir issue at the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Exercising its right to reply in response to Pakistan, Indian delegate and first secretary in the Indian mission in New York, Mijiso Vinito, presented India's stand at the UN. In a strongly worded reply, India said, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is an integral and inalienable part of India. While the rules and legislation brought in a Union Territory are strictly India's internal affairs, the First Secretary also said the only way for Pakistan to become a normal country is to abjure its moral, financial and material support to terrorism. Earlier on Friday, Indian delegates at the General Assembly Hall walked out when Prime Minister Imran Khan started his usual diatribe about India.
The words used today at this great assembly by the leader of Pakistan demean the very essence of the United Nations. Let me assert here loud and clear. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is an integral and inalienable part of India. The rules and legislations brought in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir are strictly internal affairs of India. The only way for Pakistan to become a normal country is to abjure its moral, financial and material support to terrorism, turn its attention to the problems faced by its own population, including its minorities, and stop misusing UN platforms to further its nefarious agenda.
Moving on, Union Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Harshvardhan has said that successfully India has ramped up testing capacity, which has touched nearly 15 lakh milestones with more than 1,800 testing labs spread across the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the 79th CSIR Foundation Day, Union Minister said that the institution has done a commendable work during the pandemic. He also said fatality rate in India has come down to 1.58%. Dr. Harshvardhan also gave an insight into different vaccine trials and said that 4 vaccines are in pre-clinical trial while 3 are in different phases of human trial. He said that he's confident that in the next few months, India will have a vaccine to fight the pandemic.
79th Foundation Day of CSIR. Amazing the way these people have worked during the COVID times.
Efficient manner, they have contributed in a big way to fighting the challenge posed by COVID, whether it is for research around drugs or whether it is around genome sequencing, whether it is around vaccines, whether it is around diagnostic tests, whether it is around creation of new PPEs, ventilators, so many things.
Recovery rate is going up constantly now, and we are also testing. We are breaking new record while testing. That is, first I would like to know the status of it, and also the new drugs that are coming in on clinical trials. What is the status of them?
Yesterday, when I delivered a speech at AIMS, it was between 81 and 82. Today, when I delivered a speech at CSIR, it's between 82 and 83. Similarly, the fatality rate is 1.58% now. Now we have facility in 1,823 labs today. And when everyone used to talk about tests, we are now, today morning when I saw the report, yesterday we have done something like 13.5 lakh tests. Day before we had done close to 15 lakh tests. And we have already crossed 7 crore tests in the whole country. Regarding vaccines also, there are so many vaccines on which the 4 vaccines are in the advanced stage of the preclinical trials. 3 vaccines in India are in phase 1, 2, 3 of human trials now. So anytime in the next few months, we could have a vaccine also.
Russia has actually approached India.
Russia has approached us, and we are in fact studying their clinical trial results, and also we will also, if there is a need, we can collaborate, and maybe apart from what we are already doing, we can also be party to anything that is good for the country.
So that was Dr. Harshvardhan, Union Minister, telling us that it is imperative and that Indian scientists takes the center stage and becomes a world leader while focusing on science and technology. Cameraman AK, this is Taposh Bhattacharya, DD India, Delhi.
Some update on the COVID situation in the country. The country is registering continuous increase in the number of patients who recovered from COVID-19. Over 48.49 lakh patients have recovered from the disease in India so far. 93,420 people have recovered in just last 24 hours. The overall recovery rate has now reached 82.14% in India. The constantly increasing recoveries have ensured the actual caseload of the country has reduced. Currently, it comprises 16.28% of the total positive cases. Effective implementation of Centre's strategic and graded test, track, treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatality. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.58%, which is one of the lowest across the world. And according to Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR, in the last 24 hours, more than 13,41,000 tests have been conducted for COVID. The total sample tested so far has reached over 7 crore 2 lakhs. 1,086 labs in the government sector and 737 private labs. 1,823 labs are providing comprehensive test facilities to the people. Meanwhile, India has recorded more than 4 lakh teleconsultations on eSanjeevani digital platform. Taking to Twitter, Health Ministry informed the record number of 4 lakh teleconsultations were provided across various OPDs and at Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centres, while the states Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh have crossed 1 lakh teleconsultations each. It also said that eSanjeevani has provided various essential medical services during the COVID-19 pandemic to beneficiaries while ensuring social distancing. More than 18 states have utilized this mobile application so far to provide medical care to the needy. Some other news: actors Deepika Padukone, Shraddha Kapoor and Sara Ali Khan were questioned by Narcotics Control Bureau in a widening drug probe linked to actor Sushant Singh Rajput's death investigation. Actor Deepika Padukone was questioned at the Avalon Guest House in Mumbai's Colaba, where the NCB Special Investigation Team has set up a base. Actor Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor are at NCB's Ballard Estate Office. Deepika Padukone's manager, Karishma Prakash, who was questioned on Friday, has also reached the NCB office for questioning for the second day today. National President of Republican Party of India, Ramdas Athavale and Union Minister of State today urged filmmakers to not cast artists involved in drug scandal.
खाली फिल्म अभिनेत्रियों के नाम आ रहे हैं, लेकिन जो अभिनेता ड्रग लेने वाले हैं, देने वाले हैं, लाने वाले हैं, ऐसे लोगों पर भी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। और दूसरा एक हमारी मांग ये है, जिन्होंने नशा के लिए ड्रग का बहुत बड़ा सेवन किया है, तो ऐसे जो अभिनेता हो, अभिनेत्री हो, जो निर्माता है, उन्होंने ऐसे अभिनेत्री अभिनेताओं पर बहिष्कार डालना चाहिए।
Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today said NDA is united. It will fight the elections unitedly amid the corona pandemic. He expressed his hope that people of Bihar will again bless NDA.
ये चुनाव कोरोना के अंतर्गत होगा, इसलिए इस चुनाव में कई चुनौतियां भी हैं, कई अवसर भी हैं। भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं की पार्टी है, तो हम तो तैयार थे। चुनाव आयोग के निर्देश का इंतजार था और वो कल आ गया, तो चुनाव आयोग का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। और हम सभी चुनाव आयोग के निर्देश के अनुसार जो भी अभियान की रूपरेखा बनेगी, उसके अनुसार हम प्रचार करेंगे। और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि एनडीए को बिहार की जनता पुनः आशीर्वाद देगी।
The mortal remains of legendary playback singer and Padma awardee S.P. Balasubramaniam, popularly known as SPB, were laid to rest with full state honours at his farmhouse in Red Hills on the outskirts of Chennai. This morning, the singer's body was initially taken to his residence in Nugambakam yesterday to allow the public and other people from different walks of life to pay their respects. Government ministers from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, political and film personalities all turned up to pay their homage. In deference to the family's wishes, public, including his fans who turned up in large numbers, were allowed to offer homage for a couple of hours. To the accompaniment of music by police band and a 24-gun salute, his son SPB Charan carried out the last rites in presence of family members that included his wife and daughter, relatives and close associates. An army cavalcade was blocked during a protest by farmer outfits in Ambala on Friday, as hundreds of protesting farmers had gathered on a busy Ambala-Amritsar National Highway 1. Holding demonstrations, a cavalcade of army truck from Ambala was stopped and not allowed to pass through. It took senior officers leading the heavy police force and riot gear over an hour to persuade the agitators to allow the army cavalcade on emergency duty to pass through, but in vain. Finally, the police made way for the army convoy, let it pass through the wrong side of highway on the forward journey. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with people in the country and abroad in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow. It will be the 69th episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan. Also on AIR News website, www.newsonair.com and News on Air mobile app. It will also be streamed live on YouTube channels of AIR, DD News, PMO and Information Broadcasting Ministry. Income Tax Department has launched faceless income tax appeals. In a statement, Central Board of Direct Taxes said under it, all income tax appeals will be finalized in a faceless manner, with exception of appeals relating to serious frauds, major tax evasions, sensitive such matters, International Tax and Black Money Act. The faceless appeal system aims to streamline the income tax collection process and check corruption and unfair practices during the resolution of appeals of taxpayers. CBDT said now there will be no physical interface between taxpayers or their counsel and the Income Tax Department. The taxpayers can make submissions from their comfort of their home and save their time and resources. Faceless appeal system will include allocation of cases through data analytics and artificial intelligence under dynamic jurisdiction, with central issuance of notices which would be having document identification number. As part of a dynamic jurisdiction, draft appellate order will be prepared in one city will be reviewed in some other city, resulting in an objective, fair and just order. The faceless appeal will provide great convenience to all taxpayers. The new system will also be instrumental in imparting greater efficiency, transparency and accountability in functioning of Income Tax Department. Some international news now. A look at the updates on COVID-19 situation from across the world. Over 3.27 crore coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with more than 9.93 lakh deaths. As many as 2.41 crore people have recovered from the virus so far. United States continues to top the list, being the worst hit country by the pandemic, with the highest number of COVID-19 cases. US has crossed 72 lakh mark with over 72.44 COVID-19 cases, with deaths now crossing 2.08 lakh. In terms of death toll, Brazil stands second on the tally table with over 1.40 lakh casualties. There are more than 46.92 lakh cases of COVID-19 in Brazil. The World Health Organization has expressed concern over the global death toll from COVID-19 to double to 2 million before successful vaccine is widely available without concerted action to curb the pandemic. Emergencies Program Director Mike Ryan said, if we look at losing a million people in 9 months and then we just look at realities of getting vaccine out there in the next 9 months, it's a big task for everyone involved. WHO is continuing to talk with China about possible involvement in the COVAX financing scheme designed to guarantee fast and equitable access globally to COVID-19 vaccine. WHO has warned of the rates of COVID-19 infections and hospital bed occupancy are rising in Europe, where authorities need to work to halt the spread ahead of the influenza season. Now, with its undulating curves and steel engraving, Brazil's first memorial to COVID-19 victims is meant to preserve for eternity the names of those who passed away due to COVID-19 pandemic. Unveiled earlier this week in Rio de Janeiro, Penitence Cemetery, the 3-ton, 39-meter steel structure has space for some 4,000 names. This is a testament to the severity of the pandemic in the South American country. South America's largest country has registered more than 4.69 million cases of the virus. Over 140,000 people have died of the disease in Brazil, which ranks second after United States in terms of coronavirus casualties. And that brings us to the close of this bulletin. News and updates continue after a short break. Namaskar.